Hey y'all, welcome back to another video. And this one is about the Raptors. What? They came out on top last night. I am so happy. It had me, I'm not gonna lie to you, it was a little bit up and down for me, but they worked hard. They played hard. I've that's the type of Raptor team I'm used to. Fun to watch, work hard, don't take any plays off. They did what they needed to do to win. And just looking at some of the stats, like OG played awesome on Anthony Edwards. I know he mentioned in his interview that he gave him a little bit too much space, but then he really picked it up in the second half. And I think Anthony Edwards went 2 for 9 in the second half. So phenomenal job. Or I think at the time it was 2 for 9 when I was watching the highlights. But just amazing. Their defensive capability is going to be insane. They are long on the perimeter, with Jakob in the middle, cleaning up anything that goes by the perimeter guys. It's going to be an amazing, amazing, amazing defensive team. So some notable things that I wanted to discuss. I thought our players stepped up with Rudy Gobert and Karl Anthony Towns. You have two of the top big men in the league clogging the middle. So I'm not surprised that Pascal and Scotty didn't take off in this game, but they did the things that they needed to do to win the game. I think Pascal had 15 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists. And he had a couple turnovers, not a big deal. He had 1 steal. Did a fantastic job. And the thing that I want to highlight with Pascal, he played great defense and he came through in the clutch with those 2 big 3-pointers at the end for us. So hats off to Pascal. He did an awesome job. I think his efficiency will be way better in the next game. There will be a little bit more space for him to maneuver. I'm not worried about Pascal. Scotty was Scotty. Scotty had 17 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, 5 blocks. Like, insane. Phenomenal game. He got off to a slow start in the beginning. Couldn't get his shot off in the middle because, again, the lane was clogged. But he came through with some huge defensive plays in the second half, pushed the pace when he needed to, did a great job defending Anthony Edwards, defending anyone pretty much 1 through 5. So hats off to Scotty. I think there's going to be big things for him this season, and that was a great start for him. Dennis Schroeder, what can he ask for? It's a point guard, right? He took his shots in the flow of the offense. I know there are fans complaining that he took those 2 shots at the end, but they came in the flow of the offense. He didn't make them, but they weren't forced. They were in the flow of the offense. He just didn't make it. We can live with those, even though they were toward the end of the game. But I feel that Dennis had a fantastic game. 22 points, 7 assists, 3 rebounds. Just pushed the pace when needed to, calmed down the offensive sets when he needed to, and was a stabilizing force in the back end. There was no forced shots from him. Everything came in the flow of the offense, and he directed people where they need to be, and that's what your point guard does. And this is not a slight to Fred VanVleet. He did phenomenal for us when he was here, but I think that was the difference between what I saw last night and what Fred did last year, where he would come down and take a pull-up 3 instead of trying to get everybody involved and trying everybody to touch the ball. So hats off to Dennis on that. OG, what can you say? 20 points, 6 rebounds, 3 steals, or 2 steals, 3 blocks. Like, this guy is a potential defensive player of the year. His defense on Anthony Edwards in the second half was just incredible. And then that poke at the end when he was guarding Rudy Gobert and he poked the ball out poked the entry pass, and we ended up with Scotty getting that dunk at the end. Just smart headsy play from OG. The Raptors played really, really well. Jakob played when he needed to play. He had 7 points. So not your typical Jakob game where he gets his 13, 15 points a night, but he did need to do. He got 7 points, 11 rebounds. Was big in the middle for us when we needed him. He did step up as well when Naz Reid came into the middle. I think the whole team collapsed on Naz Reid in that last play and was blocked by Scotty at the end, but just phenomenal job. Gary Trent, not worried about him. I know he didn't have a great shooting night, but he did play well defensively and did the little things that he needed to do. Malachi, he had that big three for us. In his 10 minutes, he did what he needed to get us through it. I think one thing that I was a little bit disappointed of was when we went up by 10 and Darko brought in the bench. Your bench is supposed to either maintain or sustain the lead, and we gave the lead back, and Malachi was leading that second unit. So I'm not going to put the blame all on him, but he has to be able to make sure that the second unit is directed properly, and that they're able to actually try to maintain the lead, at least not give it up completely. But Jalen McDaniels, I think, he didn't have a great night offensively, but he did do some things that I thought were really good. He did do the transition break. He did that pass, rebound, played good defense. I think sky's the limit for him. It was just the first game, so he'll have a little bit more room as well to maneuver, but he's a good, solid pickup. Grady Dick didn't have much impact. He only played 2 minutes, but I think that his minutes will increase as he comes along, so I'm not too worried about that. One surprise was Chris Boucher didn't start, but Darko did mention that he had a conversation with him and talked to him about getting back in the rotation, but at the end of the day, there's so much depth on this team that at any given night, anyone can step up. Otto didn't play. Thad didn't play. Chris Boucher didn't play. At the end of the day, we have enough depth that if anything were to happen, those guys can step in as veterans. So not too worried about it. I think this was a great game. The Raptors played hard. They did what needed to do. And I think based on what I saw, this is how they're going to play all season, is playing hard and just playing elite defense. And the transition buckets were amazing. 34 points and 34 fast break points was awesome. 40% from three. Like, those things are going to be what makes this team a good team this year. So I'm happy they got the win, 1 out of 82. We have 81 more to go. But if this is the Raptors that we're going to see for the season, I am happy with it. I can get behind this team and support this team based on what I saw last night. So let's keep it going, Raptors. And for you guys, thanks a lot for your time. Please subscribe to my channel. If you have any other, I guess in the next couple days, I think the Raptors play Friday. They play Friday in Chicago, so I'll be analyzing that as well. And we'll talk then. You have a great day, guys. Thanks a lot.